Hello and welcome to the United Stand. I'm Mark Goldbridge, joined by Kev, who we'll be going to in a moment. I just want to say, first of all, obviously, Friday night has probably wiped us all out, what's happened in Paris. I apologise. There were some tweets going out on auto-tweet over the night, people getting annoyed by that. That is just a mishap, and I do apologise for that. Of course, we wouldn't have been tweeting stuff like that out if we'd known. And yesterday, I think, like many people, we didn't really tweet out much at all because I just think we felt that we needed to have a bit of time out. But we're back today, and I think that I'm not into international football at all, but this week on Tuesday against France, I probably will watch it because I think it's bigger than football. It's a bigger message, and it matters that we carry on and show this evil that they won't win. That's what I've got to say about that. Let's carry on and get in with the show. It is the United Stand. We're here to talk about Manchester United. International football, I hate it. I'm going to be totally honest, cannot stand it. And lo and behold, probably my favourite player, Michael Carrick, I've been championing for ages, goes and gets a nasty injury, an ankle injury. I've got my views on this, Kev, and I've got some very strong views, but I just want your thoughts on this Carrick injury. And, of course, Jesse Lingard's now been called up as well.
Yeah, well, I think we're both singing from the same hymn sheet in regards to international football, because it's one thing that, personally, I just think it gets in the way of the Premier League season. I mean, I tend to call it international football because it bores the life out of me. As regards to England and the injury to Carrick, I'm very annoyed about it. Why Michael Carrick is still playing for England is beyond me. For me, he's been overlooked for years. Gerrard and Lampard were always picked over him, and this was at a time when, for me, Michael Carrick was the most consistent English midfielder in the Premier League. He has been for years, but for Carrick, he's underrated. People don't understand what he's about, but if you go to Old Trafford every week, you watch him, you know exactly what Michael Carrick is about, and you appreciate everything he does. And at his age now, I know Paul Scholes retired from international football at an early age. I was bang up for that. I thought fair play to him because Scholes was overlooked as well. One of the best player of his generation. And again, because of this Lampard-Gerrard thing in the middle, Paul Scholes ended up playing on the left wing for England. And that's how much of a joke England are. So for me, Michael Carrick now at this age going back in after all the managers that have continued to leave him out for top tournaments when he should have been there, and now he's played in a ridiculous friendly and he's picked up an injury which I don't know how long he's going to be out for, but as a United fan it's sickening because for me he shouldn't be playing. And a lot of people will have the counter argument, England fans saying that it's the greatest thing to play for your country. Maybe it is, but I just think that Michael Carrick at this age now should have looked at maybe something that Paul Scholes and other Manchester United English players have done, and that's really to choose your club over your country, because at the end of the day, it's the club that pays your wages. They're the ones that look after you, and now United have got to look after Carrick, rehabilitate him. It's not England's job, so it's United that are stuck with it. So yeah, it's hit me, that one. It does annoy me, mate.
No, I didn't know where you were going to go with it, to be honest. I didn't expect you to go that route, but funnily enough, it's the route I was going to go. I'm really annoyed about it, and I actually blame Carrick, and I'll come to that why in a minute. But Ian Fitzgibbon says, not bothered about Carrick, I'd rather see Schmidfield. I do agree with that, but it's the depth. Our squad is quite thin, and to lose a player like Carrick, no Carrick, no party. The stats last season and even this season, when he plays, we tend to win. A Carrick fan says, what annoyed me was why play Carrick in a pointless friendly. But as Kev just said there, and I did a little bit of research because we do that on the United Stand, contrary to belief. 2010 under Capello, he didn't go to the World Cup. 2012 Euros, 2012 Hodgson, Roy didn't take him to the Euros. He took Henderson. The last World Cup, he got him back in the squad. And then the last World Cup, 2014, he didn't take him to the World Cup because he took Lampard, who was basically destroyed Carrick and Scholes' career, but was at the very end of his career. He took Lampard, Gerrard and Jordan Henderson again, as he did in 2012. Now, Henderson's improved, but he's not on the same page as Carrick. And I mean, That's why I agree with Kev totally there. What is Michael Carrick playing at? He's 34 years of age. He's on the decline. He's picking up more injuries over the last 18 months than he has done in his whole career. He never used to get injured. He's 34. He's hardly got any time left. He's at Manchester United. He's a key part of our team, and he is playing for Roy Hodgson. Now, if people want to get on the back of Louis van Gaal for the way he plays football, you're miles off compared to Roy Hodgson. I mean, this is Mr. Defence crap football, man. I mean, you play for Hodgson and you are going to run around for 89 minutes of the day chasing shadows. There's no possession ball. There's no good football. It is a total anomaly that Carrick is playing for them anyway. It doesn't suit his style of play. But why the hell he hasn't retired from international football for the way he's been treated for the last decade anyway? But what is he doing playing for Roy Hodgson? And I know, you know what? I don't like Hodgson. I don't like the way he plays football, but I couldn't give two hoots about English football, to be honest. I don't care about what the English national team does. But Michael Carrick, as Kev said there, should not be anywhere near an England shirt. He's had more reason than anybody, and I can't understand for the life of me why he is still part of the setup. And he should be putting the club first, and also he should be putting himself first. I mean, who gets treated like that? Who gets not taken to World Cups and Euros for Jordan Henderson and still says, "Oh yeah, I'll come. Phone me up, Roy, and I'll come." Absolutely not happy with it at all. And I think, you know what, it's really difficult, and we'll probably get a lot of stick about this because ever since we're doing the United stand, and I know Kev's the same, Carrick gets so much credit on here, but on this, we always do give two sides, and we're not biased. I think he's 100% wrong, and I will throw it back to you, Kev, to see what you think. But I just want to say as well, just for those people who say, "Oh, he's playing for his country, this, that, and the other." I don't know about you, Kev. I mean, we are slightly older than a lot of the fans, but I used to actually really like watching England. I'm old enough to remember Italia 90. I'm old enough to remember Euro 96. And I used to have England shirts then. I absolutely adored watching England and loved the internationals. And then more or less around 2000, I stopped watching them because it got crap under Ericsson. The football was rubbish. Basically, the Gerrard and Lampard axis just killed it for me because we never played our best team. I've got no interest in them. I will watch the Euros because there's only football. That's the only football on next summer. But when it comes to international friendlies or the qualifiers, I just switch off for 2 weeks. So I'm not anti-England. I used to really follow them. I've had it with international football. Sorry, Kev. I'll come back to
sorry, mate. Yeah, I feel exactly the same. I mean, you touch on Italia 90, Euro 96. I mean, they were fantastic tournaments. I won't lie, at that time, I probably was following England. I wanted them to do well. But for me, I mean, I thought you were going to touch on the same thing then, but for me, it come up to United were highly successful at that time. And after United won the treble in 99, going into 2000 there, I mean, I remember watching England. It was the United players. There was a hell of a lot of United players in that squad at the time. And they were actually being booed by the England players. And for me, that's where it's just absolutely, it's ridiculous. And it's where the club rivalry thing comes in for me. And this was obviously Liverpool fans, Chelsea fans, Arsenal fans booing the likes of Gary Neville, David Beckham, Paul Scholes. And for me, it just gets in the way of it. And you see it on Twitter all the time. The minute England play, if somebody makes a mistake, it all comes down to that player and the club they play for. For me, England's always been like that. And I just don't see how you get around the problem. For me, I've always found it hard anyway, because I just don't see how you can support a rival player, if that sounds funny enough. I mean, I just could not get excited about seeing the likes of Steven Gerrard score for England. That's just something that's in me. I know a lot of people are the same. I'm not very patriotic at all, but I mean, you see the likes of other countries like Spain. I think they're able to put that to one side. But when it comes to England, you have this club rivalry that is really, really strong. And between the likes of United and Liverpool, I think Gerrard, Scholes have mentioned it in their books. Even in the camp in England squads, there was always a divide between United, Liverpool players, which is quite strange. But he said that was the club rivalry that they had. He said the London type players, they tended to stay in a group. The Northerners, but there was that divide between United and Liverpool players. That's exactly what it is, football rivalry.
Yeah, I mean, we'll leave it there because we're going to talk about England all night. But I mean, they've ruined themselves with Ericsson, Capello, and Hodgson. I mean, they've had good players over the year, and I think that golden generation of 2002. Again, I watched that. Got up really early in the morning to watch us go out to Brazil at about 7 o'clock in the morning. 2002. Bad week management again. We had the players, but you know, I've got no interest in England, and I do blame Michael Carrick. I'm sorry. We always say how it is on the United stand, and some people say, "Oh, you're always having a pop at Fellaini." Well, I'm having a pop at Carrick, who's probably one of my best favourite players of all time at Manchester United, living all time. And I think he's bang out of order. He shouldn't be in that England squad. Show some pride, mate. Don't get treated like rubbish and then go and get injured when we're far more important and you haven't got that long left. Really disappointed. But Manchester United, let's stay positive. We're back with Watford on Saturday. Can't wait for that. Proper football coming back. But I pose this one to you, Kev. We've got Watford away, Leicester away, West Ham at home, Bournemouth away, Norwich at home. They're the 5 games that lead us up to Christmas Day. We are 2 points off the top of the league. We've got those 5 games to come. In the next 5 games, Arsenal and Manchester City have got to play each other. And I think Man City have also got Liverpool. That'll be 3 points, though, won't it? But what I'm saying is 2 points off the top of the league. In any other season, apart from the Moyes season, obviously, you'd look at them 5 games and say, we should be top of the league come Christmas.
Them games on paper are all winnable. And would be typical of our season if we did drop points now in these next couple of games. But you have to be positive. And looking at that Watford away, you wouldn't expect any problems. Maybe Leicester. Leicester caused us a few problems last season, but I just don't think Van Gaal will get that wrong after what he did last year when we got beat 5-3. I really do think he went for it in that game and we got caught out big time. Bit of a freak result. But yeah, like you say, the next 5 games are on paper. They're all winnable. The games we should be going, scoring goals. But I was speaking to somebody, actually, I think his name's Matthew. He's actually somebody who watches the United stand. He comes over when I'm working at Old Trafford. He comes over to see me before every game. And the last game he come to, it's so true. He said to me, at the minute, Manchester United are like a box of chocolates. He said, you just don't know what you're going to get with them. And I thought he just summarised it quite well. So if he's watching tonight, there you go. There's your shout out, mate. But yeah, I think it just typifies at the minute. You really do not know. And supporters are turning up at the ground with not great expectations. It's almost like going back to the David Moyes era slightly. I don't want to be too negative, but I'm just saying, obviously we are getting results at the moment, but you just don't know as a performance what we're going to get. But yeah, I'd love to see us go on a run now till Christmas. And like you mentioned there, Man City do play Liverpool at the Etihad on Saturday. You'd be hoping they can drop a couple of points. And like you mentioned, Arsenal and City meet each other. The points are going to be dropped, but this is where United really need to kick in now. And get these points on the board, because come Christmas time, it's a very good possibility that we could be sitting on top of the perch again.
Yeah, I mean, we've got to be realistic. You know, we do this every week for quite a while now. And, you know, Watford, Leicester, West Ham, Bournemouth and Norwich should be, I think, 15 points with the players and squad we've got. The reality is it's not going to be, is it? And if it is on Christmas Day, we've got it, then I'll happily eat some Christmas pudding until I'm sick and say I was wrong. But I can't see it. I think under Louis van Gaal, the one thing I would say is we do get good results, but there's no game like there was under Sir Alex where you know that's a home bank of 3 points. You just don't know what you're going to get, whether you're playing Watford or Manchester City. We can't predict it. We should be top of the league come Christmas Day. I will say that. I know I have said it, but we just don't know. I mean, Watford on Saturday, it probably is going to be a battle again. Will it be Crystal Palace all over again where we're not creating anything? I don't know, but we definitely should be. And what a fantastic opportunity it is. You know, no more international breaks. Christmas is obviously very close to New Year, and New Year means the transfer window, which we're going to touch on in a moment. But a massive opportunity, and I think we've got to take it. But whether we do, I don't know. What was I going to say? I've lost all thought, Kev. There, we're talking about the title challenge, weren't we? Yeah, Scholesy. Yesterday, I don't know whether you were at the game, but the UNICEF game David Beckham organised, there was one goal, and I know it's that we were there in the summer, weren't we, for the Legends game? And it's definitely the box. And this is what I know we've touched on Scholes, and we back him 100%. And we feel that if he talks, then people should listen. And he's got more right than anybody to talk. But I think in one moment, that Beckham and Scholes showed exactly what the problem with Manchester United at the moment is. It's that inability to put a quick ball into any danger area, and it's midfielders breaking into the box. And that goal showed exactly why Manchester United are struggling under Louis van Gaal to create chances and get fans on the edge of the seat, because when we get the ball wide, we cut back inside, and it's predictable the cross is coming. And when our midfielders don't go beyond the strikers, it's a sideways pass. And in one movement, they just showed that Scholes especially, he's not moaning for moaning's sake. That isn't hard. It's get the ball in quick, and it's midfielders getting themselves in the box. Man United have always done that.
I think it was absolutely fitting, and I know it was a game for UNICEF. We're talking a friendly game, but if one thing backs up what Paul Scholes has actually been going on about, the last sort of kind of 2 rants he's gone on about Louis van Gaal, that absolutely typified it yesterday. And like you say, Beckham picks a ball up under Van Gaal. Beckham would not have whipped that ball in. That's just the way that United are playing at the minute. They're almost playing with the shackles on. Being instructed not to do that type of thing. A cross could be an opportunity to give the ball away, give it back to somebody in midfield. But yeah, roll back the years. We're talking sort of 10, 15 years ago. It was a regular thing at Old Trafford. Get the ball into Beckham. First time, absolute peach of a ball. And you've got Paul Scholes arriving from midfield with that header. Fantastic finish. But yeah, United just do not do that anymore. We scream about it and go on about it every week. And under Van Gaal, we are not playing with any type of width at all. Everything goes through the middle. If you're going to lose possession of the ball, it comes back to somebody else. No risks are being taken. And like I say, for everything that Paul Scholes has said in the last 2 rants, has, for me, just echoed exactly what a lot of supporters have been feeling, but are not really honest enough to come out and say these types of things. I think a lot of people knew it deep down, but they didn't really want to say it. And Scholes is absolutely bang on. He's come out again, and what he said, I really don't think anyone can question it. Anyone can argue with it. And all you have to think about is this season, how many games have we played in even just the Premier League? What is it, 11, 12 games? And if I said to you, on one hand, you'd be able to count how many times United have been absolutely brilliant this season, and there wouldn't be many fingers you'd be counting on. I can think of the Everton game where we're very good, and a lot of people could debate that Everton had a very bad off day. United were very good that day, if you wanted to look at the flip side of it. But many other games, I can't think of one time this season I've come away from Old Trafford thinking United were the dogs today. They put in a great shift and we absolutely obliterated them, because that's just the way the season's gone at the minute. But hopefully these next 5 games now, which I think are winnable, we should kick in, and hopefully we can get these convincing performances. Yeah,
and also it's a good point about the Everton game, because that's the one that would come to my mind. But let's not forget anyway, in a respectful way, their greatest ever manager died that morning, didn't he? We had it with Man City when we had the tragedy centenary in when was it? It was about 4 or 5 years ago, wasn't it? 2008, obviously, when we had Ronaldo, and it was. We lost the game, and Man City were crap then. It wasn't the Man City of the Sheikh. So, that is a bit of a concern. I mean, Everton were off that day, to be honest, and I can't think of another performance better than that. But Gregory Burke says Scholes has earned the right with United to say anything that he wants. Conrad Urardi says we play Stoke, Chelsea and Swansea over the Christmas period, so taking 15 points from the next 5 matches is a must. VJ Michael Beckham is my evergreen. And Shane Higgs going for and even getting, he's talking about Ronaldo and Bale, which we'll touch about in the moment. I mean, what I would say about Scholes just very quickly is that Manchester United under Louis van Gaal, whether you like the way we play or not, and I was having this argument with somebody the other day, I'm not Louis youth and getting rid of the dead wood is really good. What I will say is that don't expect good football, because if he does get us playing good football, it's not what he's done for a long time, and he certainly hasn't done it in 18 months at Manchester United. He likes sideways passing. He doesn't like quick ball into the box. And unfortunately, Manchester United have always, especially over the last 30 years, put quick ball into the box and had their midfielders bombing into the box as well. Sir Alex Ferguson's blueprint was basically ball into the box quickly and as many men as you can get into the box. And we used to just bombard teams. And, I remember, watching United before Moyes, and we, maybe not in the last couple of years under Sir Alex Ferguson, but it wasn't as bad as some people say. We would be creating 10, 15 chances a game. We're lucky if we do that in a month at the moment, but we'll have to just hope that it improves. And it has to, these next 5 games, we should be top of the league come Christmas, but also I think come Christmas, we'll know a lot about the way Louis van Gaal and his Manchester United career is going to go, because Kev goes every week and I just can't see the fans are going to put up with this rubbish football. But Joe and Rodell says, is getting Robben in January realistic? Funnily enough, that's our next topic. Ian Robben, apparently he's fallen out with Lewandowski. He is coming up for 32, I believe, in January or February. Certainly a player I like, Kev. Is he somebody you'd fancy in January if we can get hold of him?
Yeah, obviously you like him. He's top draw. If you watched him the other night, he looks back to his best. The other argument would be that he's 32 years old, and how much are you going to spend on him? I wouldn't spend a ridiculous fee, because I would say that at his age and probably the physical shape he's in, what has he got? Probably maybe 3 years left at the top level. Definitely worth a risk if you can get him at the right price. To be honest, with Robben, it's always one that sticks with me from, is it back in 2004 when United should have signed him? And another classic example of United haggling over, what was it, 12 million being too expensive, and then Chelsea coming and bought him. It had shades of, the Ronaldinho kind of, we went in for Ronaldinho, we won't pay 20 million for him, so he went to Barcelona, we missed out on him, and he didn't do too bad, did he? But yeah, I mean, if we'd have got Robben years ago, fantastic player, but yeah, if you get a player like that now, he is at the peak of his powers, and as long as they're not going to pay something ridiculous for him, I think it would be a good fit, because Van Gaal does know him, and it would give us that much needed pace and width if he plays him in the correct position. You just don't know what Van Gaal would do with him. He might get him in and try playing him in as a number 10 or a striker, or God knows, maybe even right back or something. You never know, do you? But yeah, I'd definitely give the thumbs up to that one if it wasn't a mad fee.
Yeah, it's got to be a realistic fee, hasn't it? Because of his age as well as a short-term fix. Yeah, a lot of it comes down to fee. Knuckleated Cooley says every game will be judged on the Fergie reign. Some fans don't like that and say you've got to stop living in the past. You don't really understand Manchester United if you think you've got to ignore the past, realistically, and that's all I'm going to say. Manchester United fans don't ignore the past. We are our past. That's what we are about. So I don't know whether anybody is saying that, but certainly some people have said that. Ridiculous comment. And it wasn't Knuckleated Cooley, by the way. On Robben, Robben should be another Bastion type of money, says Hakeem. I'd rather go for Neymar or Roos, says Titus. Get Adnan back in January, says VJ Michael. Wouldn't mind hoarding Bayern for players like they did to Dortmund, says Robot Warriors. We desperately need a right winger because Mata is way too slow and Robben is perfect, says David Forever United. And Knuckleated Cooley says, forget Robben, he can't play centre-back. Touching on what David said there, though, I do want to touch on this right midfield thing, because it's what Louis van Gaal said last week. He said we need more pace on the right, on both sides, really, but certainly highlighted right midfield. Now, I like Juan Mata, but when you look at the stats and the amount of movement, it's like we've got a square missing in the top right-hand corner compared to the left-hand side, because we don't do anything there. And that's because Mata's got no pace to go and be on his fullback, and it's also because he comes inside. We need balance, because the left-sided player, whether it's Memphis or Martial, gets doubled up on. If you could clone them and have them, or just play Memphis and Martial, I don't know why he doesn't do that, then we balance the side out. So, but it looks like we're going to buy a right midfielder. Cut the long story short. I've listed some here, Kev. Mane, obviously, at Southampton. Griezmann, Atletico Madrid. Mahrez from Leicester. Bale, Ronaldo. Felipe Anderson from Lazio. Robben, we've just mentioned there. I mean, you'd want it to be done in January because, whether it's a right midfielder or not, Valencia is probably out for the season now. Shaw already is. Carrick could be out for months. It just depletes our squad even more. So I think we've got to buy in January. So ideally, we would be going for a right midfielder anyway, but hopefully a couple more, because we need some more squad depth. Would you be looking at a Mane or Mahrez or Perez from Newcastle Premier League, or would you be looking, you know, Felipe Anderson or Griezmann or somebody a bit bigger signing in January?
For me, it has to be the big signing, and that's why I worry it won't happen, because in January it's very rare that a top player. If we're talking about a top player, then we are mentioning the two names that you rattled off before, which would either be Gareth Bale, which is highly possible. That rumour will not go away. He certainly fits the age bracket. He's got the kind of links with Ryan Giggs. He's the player that he looked up to, a Welsh legend. Even whatever he does at Real Madrid, he gets stones thrown at his car. He could score 3 goals. That's just where the Real Madrid fans are absolutely just stupid off their heads. And obviously Ronaldo. If there was any chance that United could get Ronaldo back, that they would explore and look at that, because again, as awful it is, United are a business, and to get something like Ronaldo back at United, whatever they had to pay for him, let's say 40-50 million. But the thing with Ronaldo is, he is not, even at 30 years old, people are kind of writing him off. Oh, he's too old. He's 30 years old. You only have to look at him. I mean, he was on Jonathan Ross last night, and you can just tell his physique. I mean, he clearly looks after himself. Ryan Giggs played until he was 40, and Ronaldo is head and shoulders above Ryan Giggs, what he ever was for me. And you would get at least 5 years out of Ronaldo. So money-wise, it wouldn't be a problem. United could afford it. And just imagine the lift that signing would give to United. I can't think of any other signing in the world. I'm just imagining it. If it was announced in January and Ronaldo was returning, I bet you United could fill that stadium just to see Ronaldo come out and do 10 kick-ups and sign that form Said signed. United never do anything like that. I know it's very Galactico and it's something Real Madrid do, Barcelona do when they make these big signings. But if they did that with Ronaldo, it would be absolutely huge and a massive lift to United and obviously the supporters.
Yeah. I tell you what, I can't see it, and I love Ronaldo, but I can't see it happening. And the reason I can't see it happening is because the manager we've got in charge at the moment, Ronaldo, would take one look at the amount of chances we're creating and go, I'm not going there, because Ronaldo's a professional, isn't he? He's got targets. He wants to break records. He'd be lucky he would not work in this team at all. He just won't be getting the chances, and he can't do it all on his own anymore. So I just can't see it happening. But I do agree, if we signed him, it'd be absolutely probably one of the biggest signings of certainly of our lives. Absolutely amazing. But GTF Mibalati says Marnie over everyone 20 times, says not Perez, he's crap. Jack West, we shouldn't get Mahrez, he has one good start to the season, wait till later on in the year, he's doing fantastic in my fantasy football. And David Forever in United says Martial's natural position is left wing, and I think he could create more from that position, like we say on Friday. And Maldor01 says Robben is cup tied, meaning he can't play for us in the Champions League. I think Bale, Robben, Ronaldo won't happen in January because of the Champions League, and obviously they will have whatever their clubs are doing to do anyway. But maybe next summer for one of those. But I do think we need to sign somebody in January, and I would go for Mane, because I think out of Mahrez and Perez, he is the one. They're not cup tied, obviously, who looks like he's a grafter, but also he's got that bit of pace and extra thing about him that would be good. And if not him, Felipe Anderson I like the look of, but then you've got the risk of, can he transform some Serie A into the Premier League? But he's quick, he's two-footed, and he's got a great shot on him. So Anderson or Mane for me, but we'll just have to see where that goes. I didn't forget you, Conrad. I noticed your Gaetan comments. If anybody watched us over the summer, you'll know I was apoplectic that we might sign him. We do not want him. He is crap. But there we go. Anyway, we're more or less finished there. It is obviously international break, but we always are on every Sunday at 9 o'clock. So thanks everybody for watching. Over 100 of you, which is fantastic. Like the video, subscribe if you're new to the United Stand. The United Stand is your channel. And if you've watched tonight, you will now get the pleasure of knowing that tomorrow at 4 o'clock, we will be releasing a brand new pilot show called Red Rumours. Kev will be on it, I'm on it, Alex is on it, and the Draughty Devil will be appearing as well. His first ever facial. If anybody ever sees him on there, it's just the voice. He's put a lot of work into this, but basically it's a new transfer show. We like talking about transfers. We loved it in the summer, and we're going to start having a regular show every week now, where we going to talk about transfers a bit more because we know you like it as well. So loads to talk about tomorrow. I think the big ones we're going to talk about is Vardy, Ibrahimovic, and Ronaldo and Rooney, funnily enough. But join us. Well, keep an eye out for that tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Really different show compared to what we normally do. Was there anything else I needed to say? No, other than I'm just glad the international break's over, and we'll have to move on from the disappointment of Carrick, won't we, Kev?
We sure will, mate. I was just going to say, glad this weekend's out the way. Do away with this international football thing, and back to the proper stuff there on Saturday at 12:45, which is a crap time for a kick-off away to Watford. But yeah, looking forward to it, and let's see what happens as always. Like your man said to me, United at the minute are like a box of chocolates. You just don't know what you're going to get. Yeah.
Cheers for coming on, Kev.
Thanks as always, mate. Me Twitter handle at KevinAshford7.
Cheers, pal. And somebody just said there, can we announce the Carrick fan's wife? I believe there's a love affair going on. If you follow Carrick fan on Twitter, it's been growing for the last week or so. It's kept us entertained in the international break. It started off as a hate thing. I saw a tweet. They were going at each other quite badly a couple of weeks ago, but he's declared his love for her now, and who knows, might be buying a hat, Silla, but rest in peace. But announce Carrick fan's wife. We've done that. Despise the international break, says Gregory Burke. I didn't think there was one till May now. Apparently they fit one in March now. It's like acne, boil on the arse, isn't it? Just keep popping up at most inopportune times. But fantastic. We love doing this, and thanks everybody for watching. But do keep an eye out 4 o'clock tomorrow night. I think you're going to really like it. We've enjoyed making it, and that's it. I will have my preview show back up on probably Wednesday night. FIFA Predicts will be back, and then we'll be live straight after the show on Saturday lunchtime, and back obviously next Sunday talking Manchester United with the best fans in the world and obviously the best viewers in the world. You're all fantastic, and it's a pleasure to do this, and it is your channel. Thanks everyone for watching.